When Xianxia was sucked in, his heart was in shock. He was worried that he would not be able to get out if he was trapped inside. But after he went in, he was not as scary as he imagined. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" His voice was very old, and even though he was asking Xianxia, his tone was very gentle. Xianxia was currently in a space that was completely white in all directions, so he couldn't see anything. "I am looking for you, senior. My father is Shen Tianhu." Xianxia replied, "He's very worried about you right now." "Oh, Tianhu's son. I do know that you actually have the means to find this place. It truly isn't simple." The old voice was filled with excitement and surprise. "Senior, how is your current situation?" Xianxia asked. Now he was sure that the voice belonged to the island spirit. "Not good. I'm going to die." The island spirit sighed. "How is your father and the rest?" Something happened in the earth spirit world that he was in. Xianxia then briefly told the island spirit about the situation. After knowing that Xianxia had come here and killed the world king and the others, the island spirit felt a lot more at ease. "I am truly sorry for them. I did not protect them properly." Island spirit said guiltily. "It doesn't matter. They will definitely understand you." Xianxia asked, "Senior, why would there be poison rain on this island?" "It's a punishment." Island spirit sighed. "At that time, there was also a mysterious existence that told me about this. He told me to prepare in advance." "Why should I punish you?" Xianxia had thought that he had discovered the island spirit himself. He never expected that someone would actually be the one to tell him about it. "Because I am a special existence, that person told me that because I have the potential to escape the constraints of the natural law principles, he would kill me in advance and seal me in place." The island spirit replied, "That's why such a thing happened on this island." Xianxia thought of Xiaobeling and the other two cities. Could it be that those three cities were also existences like this? "Senior, if I remove all the death poison on the surface of the island, would you be fine?" Xianxia said. "Will that guy find out again?" "If it can be completely eliminated, of course I would be curious. Right now, because of the death poison covering the surface, I am unable to absorb the Tao Qi of the heaven and earth. However, the core of the island is constantly consuming energy." The island spirit said, "You have a way to get rid of it." Xianxia released a bit of flame and said, "Senior, please see if the flame in my hand can burn the poison to death away." Xianxia was currently releasing the flames of creation. "I am also quite familiar with flames. Although I have never seen this kind of flame before, it gives me a very familiar feeling. And it is also very strong. However, your current cultivation is too low. If you were a little stronger, this kind of flame should still have a chance to strengthen." Island Spirit was also very surprised after sensing the flame in Xianxia's palm. Xianxia was only at the 10th stage of the Daodan realm, so he felt that it might be a lot better if he stepped into it. "I'm cultivating here right now. If I break through again, I'll try the surface." Xianxia said, "If this kind of death poison was removed, then this island could be reborn. All right, if you need any help with your cultivation, you can ask me." The island spirit said. Xianxia ate a few Shengdaodans. The Shengdaodan had a lot of use to him now. "Sister Bai Ling, the city that you and Azure Sky City were in back then shouldn't be any ordinary city, right?" Xianxia asked. The island spirit also said just now that this island has a lot of potential for growth, so it will be able to break through the restrictions of the ancient code in the future. "Well, I'm not too sure either. In short, the people in our city all knew how to use the power of law. They knew how to use it since they were young." Xiaobeling said, "We are a strange race. This." Xianxia couldn't even speak. This kind of city was pretty scary. After all, not many people had mastered the power of the ancient code since they were young, but Xiaobeling and the others who lived in a city all had this kind of special power. Void and Azure Sun City are similar. They are both relatively abnormal races. It is indeed possible for us to break through the limitations of the ancient code and not be restricted by the current natural law principles." Xiaobeling said again, "As for this island, I don't see any difference." Xianxia also felt the same way. If one said that this island was special, then it was probably because it was not restricted by space, and the island was an independent existence after the fusion of two eras. Could it be that it was because of this that they were punished? Then who was the one who informed the island spirit that they were going to be punished? Island spirit, do you know why this island was punished? Xianxia asked. I'm not too sure either. Maybe it's because I suddenly acquired a special power. At that time, I felt that I could control this island and teleport, and I also absorbed a lot of natural Dao Qi. Also, I can also control the rapid growth of plants on this island, and in a short period of time, I'll be able to mature many medicinal herbs. The island spirit said. Xianxia was shocked. This ability was truly heaven-defying. He now knew the reason behind this island's punishment. If this continued, the creatures on this island would become extremely powerful, and this island would become even more powerful. At that time, they would be free from the restrictions of the heavenly Tao. In that case, little scoundrel, you have to be careful yourself. Xia Bailing said in a low voice. I feel that not too long in the future, you might also trigger this kind of bottom line, and then you will be punished. Xianxia snorted. If it's a poisonous rain, then come at me. I'm not afraid, Xia Bailing said. Looks like our punishments are all part of the will of heaven, huh? Senior, have you seen the person who sent the message to you before? Xianxia asked. He suddenly guessed that someone might be sent a message by the island spirit. Yes, he appeared here all of a sudden. I'll release his image. After island spirit finished speaking, he released a figure in front of Xianxia. Seeing this figure, Xianxia was not surprised at all, because he had already guessed that it was this person. It really is him. Xianxia looked at the old man in front of him. Who is he? You know him? Xia Bailing immediately asked, and island spirit also asked. His name is Natural Law Divine Spirit, and he is a very weak fellow. I have helped him enormously. However, he is also a pretty good person. Xianxia sighed. Looks like I have to ask him next time. I just don't know how to find him. The Natural Law Divine Spirit was also a very special existence. Could be said that he was a servant of the heavenly Tao, but he was too weak. Right now, Xianxia only wanted to quickly purge the poison from the island so that his father could appear on the ground again. However, he was a little worried. If the poison was purged, then would he be able to appear again in the future? Of course, if he wanted to know the truth, he had to ask Natural Law Divine Spirit. Currently, he only had the cultivation of the 10th stage of the Spirit Tao Pill. He needed to enter the Tao Per realm to be able to strengthen the world creation flames, and only then would he be able to remove the deadly poison. Stepping into the Tao Per realm meant transforming the bones within one's body into a Tao soul, becoming an even more powerful existence. And the Tao Dan realm before was transforming the divine deity into a Tao core. After transforming into a spirit, it also meant that Xianxia's body would become even stronger, and when using the Dao Yuan immortal power, he could release even more of it in an instant, and he could also borrow even more when borrowing the power of the heavenly Tao. After eating a few Shangdao Dan, he quietly entered into a state of cultivation. It was currently very quiet inside. The island spirit did not disturb him, and only watched quietly. With regards to Xianxia coming here and doing so many things, Island Spirit was pleasantly surprised, because this was his only hope at the moment. Previously, he had carried a death wish, but now he had seen a glimmer of hope. Xianxia could feel a slight change in his body while he was unknowingly cultivating. The bones that were originally in various parts of his body were now gradually emitting a warm energy, causing the parts of his body that had bones to itch. This was a sign that he was in the process of transforming. If he succeeded, the bones in his body would have completely turned into a Tao soul. After a few days, Xianxia's skin started to exude oily black impurities. He never thought that after his own body stepped into the Tao Per realm, it would actually have such a huge improvement. My body is stronger now. Xianxia clenched his fists tightly. His body felt as if it had been struck by iron, and when he was channeling the Dao Yuan immortal power in his body, after his Tao spirit transformed and raised, he became even stronger, several times stronger than before. The Tao Per realm is the result of your bones being raised. Your current situation is pretty good. If you were to use that flame again, you should be able to purge the deadly poison from your body. Island Spirit laughed. Xianxia immediately released the creation flames, and the Daoyuan immortal power that surged out of the divine sense sea immediately became much stronger after being converted by his Dao soul. Right now, your Dao per realm is at the first level. If it's at the second level, the number of Daoyuan immortal power transformed by your Dao soul will double. Island Spirit continued, from the looks of it, although you have just entered the Dao per realm, your strength is much stronger than ordinary Dao per realm. Xianxia laughed. Senior, is my fire can really deal with the poison now? Go and give it a try. I'm not sure either. If that's not possible, you can only continue to cultivate. If it is possible, that would be for the best. Island Spirit said, do you want me to send you up? All right, then send me up. Xianxia nodded. He was already impatient to try. This death poison seemed to be an extremely serious punishment, but it was nothing to him. Not only was it unable to poison him, he could also remove and dissolve it. Although the island spirit was weak right now, it was still very easy to bring Xianxia to the surface. After all, he was the spirit of this island and had once ruled over it. In the blink of an eye, Xianxia was on the ground. At the moment, the entire place was filled with the black death poison. It was filled with death aura. The cold wind was blowing, the poison had already engulfed all of the god machines on the ground, and the death poison could not find anything capable of devouring either, continued to float around. The most powerful part of this deadly poison is its ability to quickly absorb energy. Xianxia threw a rock. When the deadly poison sensed that there was energy inside the rock, it immediately floated over and covered the entire rock. The stone turned into black ashes after being enveloped by the black gas for a few moments. The energy within the stone was absorbed, and the remnants of the stone turned into black death poison. It is indeed terrifying. If just a little bit of it is leaked out, the outside world will be quickly submerged by this deadly poison. Xianxia took in a breath of cold air. He had grabbed a handful of death poison with his hand. He also felt that his body was unfathomable. Such a terrifying death poison was actually unable to do anything to his body. Xianxia looked at the black death poison in his palm, and with a thought, a flame appeared in his palm. The death poison immediately turned white and disappeared into a mist. Success! Xianxia was immediately overjoyed. Then, he released a large amount of creation flames to burn the pool of dead poison in front of him and quickly dispelled it. It was just that originally it was all water there, but now that the dead poison had been purged from his body, it was only a dried-up pit. It really succeeded. This sort of flame is really strange. Xia Bailing was also ecstatic. If it was any ordinary flame that was being burned, most of it would have been engulfed. Xianxia's flames were emitted from the Chuangshi God furnace, and this type of flame could purify everything. It was said that when the world was created, this type of flame was used to refine all living things, and this type of flame could also burn and destroy all living things. Following that, Xianxia flew above the island, continuously sending down balls after balls of creational flames, and even turning the flames into a rain of fire to rain down, to burn the death poison on the ground. This island was not small. If Xianxia wanted to completely eliminate the death poison on it, it would not be easy either, it would need a lot of time. Was worried about this previously, but now, seeing the deathly poison being afraid of the aura of the creation flame, he felt at ease. It took him a full 3 months to burn the entire island. The island that was initially shrouded in darkness could see the bright sunlight and land sky. Although the entire island was still charred black, it seemed to be filled with more vitality than before, and was no longer lifeless. The deadly poison should have been eliminated by now. Xianxia was flying above the island. Although the deadly poison had been eliminated, the island was still constantly moving, so it was a difficult problem to stop the island. He had no choice, it might need a very powerful force to do so. However, this was not bad. At the very least, others could not easily land on this island. Senior, can you hear my voice? Xianxia shouted from the sky above the island. Yes, you did. Island Spirit's voice was very agitated. The island that had been corroded by this deadly poison for many years had finally seen daylight once more, and Island Spirit had quickly recovered. Xianxia could also feel it now. The sunlight contained the heavenly energy, and after it shone onto the ground, it was quickly being absorbed. Now that the island was no longer corroded, and the island spirit was able to quickly absorb the energy of heaven and earth, he could quickly bring the island back to life. How is Earth Spirit World? Xianxia had already left the Earth Spirit World for a long time. He did not know how they were doing. All the rankers in Earth Spirit World were killed by Xianxia, so Xianxia was not too worried that Tianhu and the rest were in danger. If everything went well, the people in the Earth Spirit World would be able to see the sun that they haven't seen for a long time. Good. I just talked to your father and told him to prepare to move to the surface. The island spirit said. Senior, do you think that the poisonous rain will return again? When Xiang asked about this, he was extremely worried, and if he came back again, he would have to return to the Earth Spirit World. If no one reminded him that the poison rain had suddenly come, then many people would definitely die. I won't come again. If I can survive this trial, the heavenly Tao will no longer punish me. Even if I do, I will grow a lot by then. I won't be like before, sitting and waiting for death. Island Spirit said, believe me, when the time comes, I will definitely be able to protect the life on this island. Island Spirit knew that Xiang was extremely worried about his father, and now that the Island Spirit saw Xiang as his benefactor, he naturally had to take care of Xiang's father. After experiencing the poison rain, Island Spirit also realized that he was too weak. He would definitely work hard to raise his own strength in the future to prevent the poison rain from coming again. Xiang nodded, then sat on the ground and leaned against a rock. He was currently very tired, and after several months of not resting, he had continuously released flames to burn the death poison on the island. Now he could finally have a beautiful sleep. Xiang had slept for 3 days and 3 nights, but the moment he woke up, he smelt a faint fragrance from the flowers. He suddenly woke up and looked around him. How long have I been asleep? Xiang asked quickly. It's only been 3 days. Xia Bailing laughed. She had actually already left the Yu Yao mountain villa. It's only been 3 days. Xiang immediately flew up to the sky and surveyed his surroundings from above. In the distance, there was a large river flowing in a zigzag fashion on this island. 3 days ago, the place had been scorched black. But now, there were mountains and rivers, blue skies and white clouds, and 100 beautiful flowers competing against each other. Xiang was shocked that he could recover to his current state so quickly. He had originally planned to rest on his own before using the creation god's spring to help recover. But Island Spirit did it so quickly. Quite a surprise. The Island Spirit's voice appeared in Xiang's mind. His voice was no longer as aged as it was before, and it was filled with joy. This is too fast. Xiang took a deep breath. The fresh air had an intoxicating fragrance to it. This might be the reason why I'm being punished. This is simply a violation of the laws of nature. The Island Spirit sighed. It would truly be heaven-defying to be able to make this island grow large amounts of flowers, plants, and trees so quickly. If those medicinal herbs could also grow like this, Xiang would feel afraid just thinking about it. Your father and the others will arrive soon. The Island Spirit chuckled. Next up, I will help him increase his strength, so that he can become a Tao sovereign faster, or even stronger. Xiang felt that this Island Spirit was as strong as the Tao sovereign, and Xia Bailing had mentioned before that this Island Spirit was very strong. All right, then I'll leave it to you. I have a lot of things to do outside, so I can't stay here for too long. Xiang said. Moreover, it's not easy to come here once. Indeed, once I'm strong enough, I won't be able to stabilize myself like I'm now jumping around. Island Spirit also knew about the chaos occurring on the island. Other than that, there was an extremely powerful barrier sealing them. All right, my father has already taken over the Earth Spirit World from the new position, right? Xiang asked. Yes, they have all stabilized now, and I have also recovered my strength. If there were other outsiders like before, I could have stopped them from doing anything rash. The Island Spirit said. Then you can help me say goodbye to my father. I'm leaving, Xiang said. He also didn't really want to say his goodbyes to Tianhu in front of him. The island spirit seemed to understand this human nature, and sighed. I got it. You have to be careful outside. You have so many miracles on you. It's hard to avoid people noticing you. If you encounter any danger, come in here. I will protect you no matter what. All right, farewell. After Xianxia finished speaking, he used the white tiger to jump and left the island. After entering the wasteland, he looked around and saw that the island had disappeared. Although the trace of the island was a bit strange, it was still a good place to go. Sister Bai Ling, what are your plans? Do you want to continue playing in the Hundreds of Flowers village, or go back there? Xianxia said, I'm going to the Three Money Divine City now. I'll go back to the White Spirit City first to take a look. It'll be an easy task wherever I go anyway. Xia Bailing came out from Yu Yao Mountain Villa. When he first went to the island and saw the death poison, it made Xia Bailing feel like he was back in the days when he was poisoned to death by the death poison. But when he recovered that island, it also eliminated the shadow that had been etched in her heart for many years. All right, I will go to Hundreds of Flowers village to play from time to time. That is my second home. Xia Bailing giggled at Xianxia and pinched Xianxia's face. I'm going. Even if you're free, you should come to White Spirit City to play with me. Definitely. Xianxia laughed. Xia Bailing hummed to the small tune that Yang Xiangyin played frequently, jumping, and slowly disappeared from Xianxia's line of sight. If I had known, I would have let her take me back first. Xianxia curled his lips and then could only head towards the Three Money Divine City himself. As long as they could find a city with 3 great native banks, they could be teleported to the Three Money Divine City through those native banks. This was very convenient. If he were to build 3 great native banks in the future, it would be much easier for him to return to the Heavenly Dragon City from the Three Money Divine City. After finding his own father, Xianxia could finally put down the burden in his heart. Inside the Three Money Divine City, Xianxia had returned to his villa. Before he left, he had told Huang Jintian to help him spread the news of the Shengdao Dan. Master, you didn't eat the Shengdao Dan, right? Xianxia immediately asked when he saw Huang Jintian. Of course not. Do I look like that kind of person? Huang Jintian chuckled. Your Shengdao Dan is very famous in this city now. Oh, how did you do it? Xianxia asked anxiously. On one hand, it's Jiang Xian, this brat, helping to spread the news. On the other hand, it's the Jiang clan helping, and then there's... And Xie Chaoyan, no matter what you need me to do for you, I have pretty much done it now. Huang Jintian said. You won't steal it yourself, will you? Xianxia asked again. Looking at Huang Jintian's current expression, no matter how you looked at it, it looked like he had eaten something. Absolutely not. I say, you brat, why don't you trust an old man like me that much? Huang Jintian said snappily. These few days, in order to help you spread the news, I've been going everywhere. Because of Xianxia's Shengdao Dan, he suddenly leveled up by a lot. And Jiang Xian stayed there all day and fought on the fighting stage. He won a lot of battles, so his reputation was very big. And now that Jiang Xian's cultivation had increased by so much, it was very useful for publicizing the Shengdao Dan. These days, Xianxia did not really refine many Shengdao Danes, but Chu Hongqing, Feng Yujie and Xia Bailing, who was in Yu Yao Mountain Villa, were refining around 1,000 of them. Feng Yujie had also eaten a lot of Shengdao Dan in the Yu Yao Mountain Villa, and had long reached the 10th level of Dao Dan realm, causing Chu Hongqing to also step into the Dao Per realm. Master, how many jade money do you think can be sold for 1 pellet? Xianxia asked. 30 million won't be a problem, but Jiang Xian told you to sell it for 50 million, and if no one buys it, then you can go down bit by bit. Huang Jintian said. This Three Money Divine City has many rich people. They have a lot of jade money. If they urgently need to use Shengdao Dan to help their own juniors raise their cultivation, they do not care about the number of jade money. Yes. Xianxia nodded. It was already late, so he returned to his room. Feng Yujie also came out from Yu Yao Mountain Villa. Sister Feng, did you miss me? Xianxia hugged Feng Yujie and whispered into her ear, while also kissing Feng Yujie's cheeks. Little scoundrel. I just wanted to warm up with you. Feng Yujie pouted coquettishly. Then, she hugged and kissed Xianxia before stepping onto the bed. After a carefree night, Xiang woke up very energetic the next morning. However, Feng Yujie woke up early in the morning and entered Yuyao Mountain Villa, together with Chu Hongqing and the others, to find something to eat. After Xiang finished eating, he came to Eternal Life Native Bank. He had come to find Eternal Life Native Bank's third master, Fan Shixin. After he had come to Eternal Life Native Bank, the shopkeeper had warmly welcomed him and brought him into the VIP hall, telling him to wait for Fan Shixin. The last time Fan Shixin met with him was not a small achievement, so when he heard that Xiang had arrived, he immediately came to see him. Villa Master Fan, how are the Heavenly Dragon City's 3 great native banks doing? Seeing Fan Shixin, Xiang anxiously asked, and did not bother to say any formalities. The higher-ups have already agreed to it and have communicated with Long Jiuxiao. The 3 great native banks have been constructed there, and before long they will introduce jade money over there. Fan Shixin had a faint smile on his face. On the other hand, you have disappeared for such a long time. I went to look for you. But your master said that you're not here. You're not refining pills, are you? Of course not. Xiang shook his head. I'm not in the city at all. Your master is also a strange person. He seems to be from the undead divine race. Fan Shixin had been to Xiang's villa and had also seen him. Yeah, but he's not that kind of bad guy. He's just crazy sometimes. But he's a lot better now. Xiang laughed. I know about that. There were originally 2 factions in undead divine race, but the moderate faction was relatively rare. Fan Shixin smiled and nodded. Oh right. I heard that you recently refined a kind of Shangdao Dan that can help your Dao Dan realm increase its realm quickly. Yes. Manor Lord Fan is interested. Xiang took out one and threw it over. I am indeed very interested, but I don't know if you can make it in bulk and sell it to us. Fan Shixin went to find Xiang just to discuss this matter. The price is fine. Earlier, Huang Jintian and Jiang Xian had spread the news everywhere, so he could guess that Xiang was planning to sell this pill. 50 million pills. Xiang said, Eternal Life Native Bank was the one who made jade money. He would not kill anyone if he didn't want to. It's a little expensive. Fan Shixin took a deep breath. How about 4,500 jade money? We will take all of them, and we will also resell them, and we will only earn a little bit of money. We have a little more Dao Dan realm in our 3 money divine city, so if we have a large number of these Shangdao Dan, it will be able to motivate more people to go and earn more jade money, which will also increase the overall strength of our city. Xiang thought this was also good. He didn't need to sell it. I have 1,000. Xiang said, Can you take all of them now? Quite a few. Fan Shixin exclaimed. He felt that what Xiang was afraid of was not his cultivation level, but his ability to refine pills. He guessed that Xiang must have grasped a method to quickly obtain medicinal ingredients, as this was also very heaven-defying. 45 billion jade money. Although Fan Shixin did not see Xiang's Shangdao Dan, he took out a piece of jade and said, You can obtain the jade money from the 3 great native banks at any time. Xiang took out a jade case, handed it over, and then received the jade slip. The way to open the native bank is different. Fan Shixin laughed. You now have so many jade money. How do you plan to spend them? No matter how you look at them, they don't seem like you are lacking. Purchasing medicinal ingredients, buying pill formulas. This will allow me to concoct even more types of pills. Xiang said, Your native bank will not collapse, right? I have so many jade money here. It definitely will not collapse. If our native bank were to collapse, this entire wasteland would be over for sure. Fan Shixin said, At the moment, undead divine race and that evil spirit race are still unable to threaten us. We are actually worried about the power that comes from other sources. Strength from other aspects. Xiang frowned. In what way? It's ancient and ancient. According to what I know, there are a few problems in the ancient wastelands, and the 3 great native banks on top have all been destroyed. Those ancient wastelands have powerful barriers too, and currently, none of us from the 3 great native banks are able to go in and investigate. Fan Shixin said, So we have to be prepared. The sudden appearance of the ancient desolation is definitely not a coincidence. It was all arranged by some mysterious power. Xianxia knew that the spirit wasteland was stable now, but the upper echelons were also in turmoil. For example, Xia and the other two Dao sovereign cities would often face attacks from the beast race, and these were all instigated by mysterious powers. Manor Lord Fan, I would like to see what kind of problem has occurred in the ancient desolation. Xianxia suddenly said. He had the white tiger's jump. He wanted to see if he can cross those enchantments. Profound Wasteland, Devil Wasteland, and Evil Wasteland. These three ancient wastelands have always been unable to enter, and this has always been the case for the mysterious divine wasteland. Fan Shixin said. Do you know the location? Chen Xiang asked. I know, you need to go in. This is extremely dangerous. These three creatures from the ancient wastelands are all very savage. Fan Shixin said. Chen Xiang really wanted to go to the ancient wastelands and have a look. He had been to the spirit wasteland before and felt that it was safer there, but there was still some accident where he was almost killed by the small tree fairy. I want to go in and take a look. Chen Xiang said. Can you tell me the specific location? It's really dangerous inside. Your current cultivation is still relatively low. Entering inside would cause trouble. Fan Shixin said as he furrowed his brows. He was indeed considering for Chen Xiang. No problem. Chen Xiang laughed. First, tell me where Profound Wasteland is, and then we'll talk about the things inside. I'll go take a look. Evil Wasteland and Devil Wasteland only heard the name and felt that it was very scary, so Chen Xiang didn't plan to go right now. He was just rather interested in Profound Wasteland, and from the name, he knew that it wasn't as scary as Evil Wasteland and Devil Wasteland. Fine. Seeing that Chen Xiang really wanted to go, Fan Shixin told him the location and repeatedly reminded him to be careful when entering the place. And right now, the people from the three great native banks were also unable to enter the Profound Wasteland, so Fan Shixin was not too worried about Chen Xiang, who he felt was also unable to enter. When Chen Xiang found out that the location of the Profound Wasteland was empty, he immediately went back to greet Huang Jintian. He also gave Huang Jintian over a dozen Shengdao Danes to let him see if he could enter the Dao realm. He came to a large city in the northern wasteland, and there were a lot of people gathered there. Because the Profound Wasteland, one of the ancient desolations, appeared nearby, although it was still quite a distance away from the city, it was the only city near the Profound Wasteland. Once he was in the city, Chen Xiang heard many people talking about the Profound Wasteland. The current situation was that no one could enter the Profound Wasteland. Many big shots from the big powers had tried. No matter what they did, they would not be able to break through the barrier and enter. And the three great native banks received more information than these people did. They knew that the three great native banks inside had already been destroyed by someone, so the ones who wanted to enter the place the most were the people from the three great native banks. Chen Xiang quickly arrived at the side of Profound Wasteland. He heard that this place was originally a land of ice and snow, but Profound Wasteland's sudden appearance on this land of ice and snow allowed Chen Xiang to see a lot of green mountains in front of him. Although it was a little cold, the inside of Profound Wasteland was not affected. The entire Profound Wasteland was extremely huge, appearing in the northern wasteland and covering more than half of the northern wasteland. It was said that many small cities were devoured by the Profound Wasteland, and they didn't know what was happening inside because no one could enter. Below Chen Xiang's feet was a sheet of ice and snow, and not far away was the green grass red flower, and inside was the Profound Wasteland. He was only 100 steps away from the Profound Wasteland, but the difference was like the sky and the earth. Chen Xiang looked around. There were many people displaying their abilities, wanting to enter the Profound Wasteland to see what was going on. Because the previous spirit wasteland, when he appeared, someone had found an extremely powerful heavenly artifact, so everyone felt that there might be more heavenly artifacts in the Profound Wasteland, and there might be even more heaven and earth treasures there. Everyone knew that the Profound Wasteland was bigger than the Spirit Wasteland. Ever since the appearance of the Spirit Wasteland, the story of the ancient desolation also spread. It was just that everyone did not understand why the ancient desolation would suddenly appear. Chen Xiang also thought of one possibility. It was that the timelines of the ancient 8 desolations and the new 8 wastelands' era would fuse together, just like the timelines of the Star Law Divine Realms era and this era. During the day, many people were trying all sorts of methods. At night, there were also many people because some people felt that the barrier might become weaker at night. But still no one could get in. Xianxia walked around the barrier, and after getting away from the crowd, he used the white tiger leap to jump and easily entered the barrier. This made him secretly rejoice. The usefulness of the white tiger Dao mark was too great. After entering, Xianxia tried again and was able to jump out. I thought I saw someone inside. Suddenly, Xianxia heard someone speaking and immediately became a cloud of mist. The sky is so dark now, you must have seen wrongly. Where did these figures come from? The native bank S and people of the 3 great native bank S have all been destroyed. But the 3 great native bank S were still unable to enter. They are the 3 most powerful forces in the entire wasteland, but there is nothing they can do about it. Person said. In the ancient 8 wastelands, the 3 great native bank S had already existed, and they had also formed a very powerful force. However, the profound wasteland and the other 2 great desolate lands had all been destroyed, so something big must have happened inside. When Xianxia entered, he immediately discovered that there were huge differences between the inside and the outside, especially the Dao Qi inside. Even though it was extremely dense, it contained a very peculiar kind of energy, and he did not know what that energy was either. How strange. I just absorbed it and it left my body soon after. What exactly is this energy? Xianxia had just absorbed a very dense amount of Dao energy, and the special energy contained within circled around his body before leaving. Whatever. Let's go inside and take a look. Right now, Xianxia was also very curious about what was happening inside. He used teleportation, and each time he did so he would only teleport a distance away. Not long after, he arrived at a patch of grassland, and at this moment, he was already very far from the edge of profound wasteland. On the prairie he saw a city. The city was surrounded by a tall black wall. This type of wall seemed very sturdy, and it also had a very unique aura. When he sensed the qi, Xianxia felt that it was very familiar. Previously, when he absorbed Dao Qi, he had absorbed this kind of unique energy, and this was the qi that was contained within the Dao Qi. Don't tell me this kind of energy can be used? Xianxia suddenly remembered about the enchantment outside the profound wasteland. He felt that the enchantment was probably because it had this kind of energy that no one was familiar with, which was why it was hard to break through. What kind of power is this, and what use is it? Xianxia approached the city quietly. When he reached the city's gate, he saw a man dressed extravagantly standing there. In the middle of the night, this group of people were lined up in front of the city gate. Xianxia walked over and asked an old man dressed in luxurious clothing, "Old sir, what are you doing here?" The old man looked at Xianxia with a strange gaze. He had a surprised look on his face. "You don't know why you are here?" "I? Just passing by." Xianxia said. He suddenly remembered that this profound wasteland was a little special. If not, it would not be called profound wasteland. He knew from Fan Shixin the people in the profound wasteland were all very powerful, and the people here trained in a unique technique which allowed them to obtain a very special power. Not only did the old man look at Xianxia in shock, the people in front of the old man all heard Xianxia's words and turned their heads as well. They looked at Xianxia with astonished eyes, causing him to feel uncomfortable. "We're queuing up here, so of course we're entering the city," the old man said. "It's already so late. Why don't you go in during the day?" Xianxia felt that it was weird to ask so many questions, so he continued to ask. "The city gates only open at night, because during the day, it's too dangerous." The elder sighed. "We're all from nearby cities. Those cities were all destroyed by that thing." Xianxia immediately looked around. He never thought that such a thing would happen in profound wasteland. The city was being attacked by such a powerful being. "What is that thing?" Xianxia asked again. "Black hair's human, we don't know why there would be such a thing." In short, many cities have been destroyed, and only cities like these that use profound Tao power to set up enchantments haven't been destroyed. The old man sighed. "Black hair's human like that usually don't come at night, so we always come at night to line up." Xianxia finally understood that the energy in the spirit Dao Qi here was originally called the profound Tao power. When he thought about it again, he felt that it was extremely inconceivable that it had such a unique power. Then why isn't the door open? Xianxia asked again. Because the people inside are discussing whether to let us in or not, the old man said, and entering also requires conditions. Not just anyone can enter. Xianxia now understood why these people dressed so decently. They were here to seek shelter in this city. Most of them belonged to the Daopa realm, and there were even people at the 10th stage of the Daopa realm. However, they still had to enter the city to seek shelter, which showed how dangerous it was outside. If they don't open their doors by day soon, we will have no choice but to hide. If we are unlucky and are found by the black hair's human, we will die for sure. Fear was written all over the elder's face. Xianxia looked at the other people, and when he heard the two words black hair's human, their faces were filled with fear, showing just how terrifying black hair's human was. Xianxia also patted the old man's back, waiting for the city to open up. He wanted to enter and learn more about the situation. Old grandfather, where are the 3 great native banks? Aren't they very strong? They can't do anything to black hair's human? Xianxia asked. The old man shook his head. None, they can't even protect themselves. Many of the native banks were destroyed, which is strange. Those black hair's humanists all attacked with a purpose. I heard that when the black hair's human was about to erupt, the moment they entered the city, the first thing they did was to get rid of the 3 great native banks. So it's like that. This definitely was not by chance. He suspected that it might be some kind of punishment that deliberately weakened the strength of the 3 native banks. He and the old man were waiting in line. They asked the old man what the profound Tao power was. The old man said that it was a power unique to the profound wasteland, and they had trained together, but they did not expect it to be used to set up a formation. They did not know that the black hair's human was extremely afraid of this power. If their city had a barrier formed from this power, the city would not have fallen one by one. How should I train? Why can't I absorb them? Xianxia asked again. What exactly happened to you? No one in profound wasteland would not know of it. You couldn't have come from some other wasteland, right? The old man's words once again caught the attention of many people. They knew that they could not leave profound wasteland now, and if they could, they would not be here. I don't know, I woke up here. Xianxia pretended to be stupid. He felt that if he told these people that he was from another world, there would definitely be trouble. It seems like you went berserk during your training. Your brain must have broken down. How pitiful. The old man sighed. Cultivating profound Tao power requires fire, and most people absorb it into their body, then filter out the profound Tao power from the body, and then force the profound Tao power into a furnace. After being burned by the fire, it can transform into a type of golden mist, and when the time comes, it can be absorbed and cultivated. Xianxia nodded, but at the same time, someone shouted, "Open the door!" The door was open, but it was not. It was a very small door. Many people were very excited. They were all prepared to hide, but now the door was open. Come one at a time. If you don't pass, you won't be able to enter the city. More than 10 people walked out from the small door. They were all very strong. Not bad. After entering our city, you all have to protect our city, and the first thing you have to do is to join our team that is hunting black hair's human. A man said, "Don't worry. We know the weakness of the black hair's human. We will train you when the time comes." As long as he could enter, it was better than staying outside. Let's test each person's cultivation. Those who pass will be able to enter, an old man said. Then, everyone lined up and began to test their cultivation. All of them placed their hands on top of a crystal ball. Once the crystal ball was lit up, they would be able to enter the city. Xianxia observed for a while and felt that it wouldn't be too hard for everyone to make the crystal ball shine. After a while, Xianxia suddenly heard a weak voice from the front. I am of the 10th stage of the Daodan realm, so I will enter very quickly. The person speaking was a young girl dressed in simple clothes. She looked to be around 13 to 14 years old, and she looked extremely pretty. Her pretty face was full of grievance, and she looked very pitiful. No, the higher-ups have requested for us to not allow anyone below the Daopa realm in. The old man was very cold as he pushed the girl to the side. I have a jade money, let me in. I'll give you 1 billion jade money. The young girl grew anxious, and her delicate voice became slightly louder. The 3 great native banks are already finished. What use do you have of jade money? The old man sneered. The young girl was standing at the side, biting her lower lip. Her eyes were filled with tears, making her look very pitiful. However, no one was speaking up for her. They were all worried that they wouldn't be able to enter the city if they angered these people. The young lady did not leave, but continued to plead. If she did not enter with her strength, she would definitely die outside. Furthermore, she was only in her teens and had no experience in surviving. At this moment, she was filled with fear of the outside world. This time it was Xianxia's turn. He passed the test. Can we let her in? Xianxia said to the old man, and pointed to the young lady who had tears all over her face. No, say one more word and you won't be able to enter. The old man coldly snorted. This old man's cultivation was very high. Xianxia guessed that he was from the Dao Shi realm, so no matter how angry Xianxia was, he could not fight against him. Then I'm not going in. Xianxia also could not bear to see the girl alone outside. He walked over, held her hand, and gave up the chance to enter the city. Little sister, I'll accompany you. Don't be afraid. Xianxia lovingly wiped away the tears on the girl's beautiful face. The young girl was very moved by Xianxia's actions, and also shed a lot of tears. Big brother, you should go in. This is a rare opportunity. Don't waste it on me, you will die. The girl swallowed her saliva. Both of us will die outside anyway. It's no use for you to accompany me. You should just go in. Humph, he has no chance. The city is very crowded. The old man coldly snorted. Xianxia held onto the girl's small hand and laughed. Go, you won't die. Believe me. The young girl was just a single person in her teens. She had been living in fear for the past few days, and being refused to enter the city was also very helpless. In order to accompany her, Xianxia had given up the opportunity to enter the city. This moved her greatly, and at this moment, she also trusted Xianxia a lot. Just a moment ago, many people heard Xianxia asking many foolish questions, and thought that he was very ignorant, so they were not afraid. Xianxia brought the young girl and left the city. On the way, he found out that the young girl was called Lin Qiqi, and was originally the granddaughter of the Lin family's patriarch, but their Lin family had all been killed by Black Hair's human. She escaped together with her parents. On the way, they met with bad luck, and even his parents sacrificed themselves to protect her. It's really not easy. After experiencing so much, Xianxia let out a light sigh as he caressed Lin Qiqi's face. Don't cry anymore. I'll take care of you from now on. Thank you, big brother. Lin Qiqi hugged onto Xianxia's arm. Right now, the sky was about to brighten, and she was becoming more and more afraid. In the past, it was only when the sky was dark that people began to feel afraid. But now, it was instead dawn that caused them to feel fear. Xianxia said to Lin Qiqi, Qiqi, you enter one of my spatial treasures first. There will be a few sisters who will play with you inside. This way you will be safer. Lin Qiqi listened to everything Xianxia said. She was a weak little girl in the first place. Of course, she was at the 10th level of the Dao Dan realm at such a young age, which showed how strong and powerful the Lin family was previously. Furthermore, her aptitude must also be very good, just that she had never experienced such a thing since she was young. Xianxia entered the profound wasteland in the middle of the night, so he had never seen that kind of black hairs human before. Feng Yujie, Chu Hongqing and Yang Xiangyin, who were in the Yu Yao Mountain Villa, knew what had happened to Lin Qiqi. Moreover, the Yu Yao Mountain Villa was also very beautiful, and there were a few great beauties inside. Lin Qiqi's mood was much better now, but she was very worried about Xianxia, who was outside. Qiqi, you don't have to worry about him. He's just curious about what the black hairs human looks like. If he really can't beat him, he would come in here. Feng Yujie caressed Lin Qiqi's face and chuckled. Really? Big brother can also come here to seek shelter? This is great. Lin Qiqi suddenly frowned. Is this big brother's true space? Yes. What's wrong? Xianxia asked. If big brother comes in, those black hairs human can also come in. Black hair's human is very powerful. They can enter into other people's real space. Lin Chichi started to worry. She also had real space. There were people in the heavenly Dao realm. If the real space was not too strong, he could enter the real space on the spot. And any ripples would affect the real space in divine sense C. Xianxia had thought it strange previously. Since everyone had the real space, wouldn't it be alright as long as they hid inside? That way, they could avoid being attacked by the black hair's human and come out again at night. So it turns out that black hair's human could enter someone else's real space. So you're saying that once I enter my own divine sense C world, my own black hair's human can also follow me in? Xianxia asked. Yes, a lot of people thought they would be able to take refuge, but they all died in the end. Lin Chichi was very sad at the moment. She felt that she had implicated Xianxia. Don't worry, he has a lot of tricks up his sleeves. Chu Hongqing comforted Lin Chichi. Lin Chichi could only trust Xianxia. Although Xianxia had never seen the black hair's human before, he knew that the black hair's human must be very strong. If not, he would not have forced so many people into a corner, causing the entire Lin family to be completely destroyed and the 3 great native banks to be destroyed. In order to be safe, Xianxia took out the 6 realms mirrors and used the large amount of Daoqi from the 6 realms mirrors. He also created an array formation that could absorb the Daoqi and refine the profound Tao power into a barrier. Now, Xianxia sat on the 6 realms mirrors and activated the protection array, waiting for daybreak. Looks like I have to find some time to go back to the Heavenly Dragon City and see if the Heavenly Magic Sword has been repaired. When Xianxia had Heavenly Magic Sword S, hacking things up was the easiest. Right now, he could only use the fire sword marks to release fire swords to attack. The sky slowly brightened. Lin Chichi could also see the situation outside from inside the Yu Yao mountain villa. She could see Xianxia sitting on something right now. Xianxia rode on the 6 realms mirrors S and slowly flew while being vigilant of his surroundings. If there was any movement in the wind or grass, he would be able to notice it immediately. Black hair's human? Is he covered in black fur? Xianxia asked Lin Chichi. No, it's because they're covered in black fog. From a distance, it looks like they have black fur all over their bodies, so that's what we call them. Lin Chichi said, Big brother, they are extremely fast, you have to be careful of them. They are usually in a group. A group? How strong was he? What kind of power do you know how to use? Xianxia asked again. In an average group of black hair's human, there would be one who knew how to use the power of the spatial laws, and there are even 2 who specialize in destroying formations, attacking, killing, and defense. They work together very well. Each group has around 100 people, and can easily destroy an entire city. Lin Chichi remembered. His voice was filled with fear. Xianxia was also extremely surprised at this moment. He had thought that these black hair's human were all a group of barbaric fellows, but he never thought that they had such abilities. Furthermore, they had such teamwork, showing their high intelligence. You here? Xianxia suddenly saw a black object in front of him. It's the black hair's human. Big brother, you have to be careful. Lin Chichi shouted in alarm. Although she was inside the Yu Yao mountain villa, she still felt fear when she saw him. Xianxia had only just seen black hair's human appear in the distance, but he was already in front of him in the next moment. Just as Lin Chichi had said, there were those in the black hair's human who knew how to use spatial energy, and they were very smart, using teleportation to move a group of black hair's human right in front of him. These black hair's human's body were no different from a human's. Only their faces were white and their eyes were closed. There was no expression on their faces, only a black aura emitting from their bodies. At this time, Xianxia was surrounded by a group of black hair's human-s. Even though he was on top of the 6 realms mirrors and had many layers of protection arrays with him, he could still feel the powerful aura being released from the black hair's human's body, which made him feel a lot of pressure. In such a situation, Xianxia immediately activated his 6 realms mirrors and used his spatial energy to teleport out of the encirclement of the black hair's human. At the same time, he also felt a wave of energy attacking him. His 6 realms mirrors had been attacked. The attack was extremely powerful, bringing along a scorching energy, as well as an extremely violent lightning energy. It was unleashed by several black hairs human-s at the same time. Even through the Six Realms Mirror's protective array formation, Xianxia felt his entire body becoming hot and numb, and that berserk force penetrated through the Six Realms Mirror's array formation. Without the protection of the Six Realms Mirrors, Xianxia did not dare imagine the consequences. The black hair's human strength was extremely terrifying, and it had coordinated very well, so their reaction was very fast. The moment they sensed Xianxia's teleportation, Xianxia's position could be determined, and they could immediately attack fiercely in that direction. Xianxia did not expect his opponent's attack to be so ferocious, but his reaction was also very fast. After teleporting a few times, he was already far away from the previous place. However, the black hair's human was still nearby, and he could clearly feel the powerful auras of that group of black hair's human. He then teleported again and again. Currently, he did not dare to leave the Six Realms Mirrors, as only the Six Realms Mirrors could protect him. He felt that even if he hid himself, the black hair's human would notice him. What a terrifying fellow! This was the first time Xianxia had met someone who was so difficult to deal with. Even when he had met those strong humans before, he had not escaped in such a miserable manner. "Big brother, are you all right now?" Lin Chichi asked worriedly. "It's nothing. I'm trying to escape. They're chasing me," Xianxia replied with a solemn voice. Under the encirclement of so many black hairs human-s, Xianxia was still able to escape. Lin Chichi was already very impressed with Xianxia, because most rankers would not be able to do it. "Do they have any weaknesses?" Xianxia asked. "There is, but I do not know. I heard that there are some people in some cities who are aware of the black hairs human's weakness, but they did not make it public," Lin Chichi said. Currently, Xianxia only knew that the profound Tao power had some effect on the black hair's human, because the formations released by the Six Realms Mirrors had some profound Tao power. If not for the profound Tao power, he might have already been heavily injured. "Looks like I need to hurry up and cultivate the profound Tao power. It seems like only with this kind of power can I deal with the black hair's human." Xianxia had planned to use the Chuangshi God Furnace to release flames to burn the black hair's human, but it was too late. The black hair's human's attacks were extremely ferocious, so he could only use his time to escape. After he continuously teleported for more than 2 hours, the group of black hair's human-s were still in the vicinity. It could be seen that the black hair's human among them who used spatial energy was also very terrifying. "Are we going to be chased by them?" Xianxia was a little anxious. If he could not get rid of these black hair's human, he did not know how long he would run. After considering it for a while, he decided to run towards the profound wasteland's enchantment. Since black hair's human did not appear on top of the new 8 wastelands, it should be because of the barrier, but those black hair's human were unable to break through it. Xianxia was getting closer and closer to the barrier. It had only been more than 2 hours, but he had already arrived at the edge of the barrier, and a group of black hair's human-s had also arrived. White Tiger Jump. When Xianxia approached the barrier, he used the power of the White Tiger Dao Mark and left the profound wasteland, arriving at the outside ice ground. Black hair's human was right next to the enchantment, unceasingly attacking Xianxia, but their powers were unable to penetrate it, and black hair's human was also unable to break through the enchantment. This was exactly what Xianxia had guessed before, that none of these black hair's human would be able to pass through the barrier. Xianxia finally heaved a sigh of relief. If he was continuously chased for so long, he didn't know how long he would be able to last. "These guys are too scary." Xianxia had never been pursued by someone using teleportation, but the other party only had a black hair's human who knew how to use spatial power, while this black hair's human wanted to bring a large group of black hair's human-s to teleport to chase after him. Lin Chichi asked, "Are you all right?" Xianxia nodded his head. "It's fine. Do you want to see them?" Lin Chichi shook his head. "I'm not looking. I'm scared." Xianxia came to a nearby city and entered the 3-money divine city from the city's native bank, then was teleported to the heavenly dragon city from there. Lin Chichi was already at the 10th level of the Daodan realm at the age of 10, so he was definitely a good sapling. He found LV Chilian and gave him to her, so of course LV Chilian would be happy to stay at the Hundreds of Flowers village. I will stay here and refine pills. I feel that this new 8 wastelands is getting more and more restless. Feng Yujie said as he came out from the Yu Yao Mountain Villa. Indeed, we have to increase everyone's cultivation as soon as possible. Chen Xiang nodded. When Chen Xiang went to look for Long Jiuxiao, he wanted to hurry up and obtain the heavenly magic sword. He felt that it should have some effect on those black hairs humaness. There are still a few more days before the repair will be completed. Wait a little longer. Long Jiuxiao chuckled. Seeing that you're in such a hurry, have you encountered some powerful guy? Yes. I've encountered something really powerful. Chen Xiang nodded, and then told Long Jiuxiao about the matter of the black hairs human. Senior Zhou Xiao, do you know what that is? Chen Xiang asked. I don't know, but it's definitely not simple. Back in the ancient times, Profound Wasteland was one of the most powerful places in the ancient desolation, and now he's actually being made into such a miserable state by this kind of black hairs human. If Profound Wasteland's barrier is destroyed, wouldn't it be very troublesome for black hairs human to come to new 8 wastelands? Long Jiuxiao's face became gloomy. Can you condense a bit of profound Tao power for me? Chen Xiang's 6 realms mirrors still had profound Tao power in it, so he took out the remaining profound Tao power and gave it to Long Jiuxiao. I will study it well, Long Jiuxiao said. I will analyze the form of this energy as soon as possible and then use it to set up an array formation. The array formations of Heavenly Dragon City and Hundreds of Flowers Village must be changed immediately. Long Jiuxiao was very aware of the danger because he had heard a lot of things from Chen Xiang. This was because the 2 generations had fused together, causing many things to change quickly and shockingly. No one knew what would happen in the future. Chen Xiang had made some important discoveries in the Profound Wasteland, so he immediately rushed to the 3 Money Divine City to look for Fan Shixin. The 3 great native banks were also very concerned about the things that happened in the Profound Wasteland. When Fan Shixin found out that Chen Xiang had come to look for him, he felt it was somewhat funny. What is it? Is it impossible to enter? Fan Shixin laughed, but seeing Chen Xiang's ugly face, he did not laugh anymore. I'm going in. Chen Xiang took a deep breath. The situation inside is not good. Your native bank has been destroyed, and the inside is filled with endless danger. Are you kidding? Did you really go in? We have tried all the rankers in native bank, but none of them were able to break that barrier. Fan Shixin said in disbelief. Really? I almost died inside. Chen Xiang sighed. Something called black hairs human has appeared inside. Chen Xiang told Fan Shixin about the appearance and abilities of the black hairs human, and even created many images. He knew that Fan Shixin would definitely inform the higher-ups of the 3 great native banks about this, and that the higher-ups of the 3 great native banks might even know what it was. This is a very important matter. When Fan Shixin heard about the situation inside, his expression became serious. I will tell the big boss and the others. Can you go in again? Fan Shixin asked again. Of course, I want to take a look inside as well. Although Chen Xiang was in a sorry state from being hunted, it was still considered to be safe. After getting his hands on the repaired heavenly magic sword, he planned to go in and try again to see if he could kill 1 or 2 black hairs humaness to study. Of course, what he was more curious about was how exactly were these black hairs human born. Was there also a situation in the evil wasteland and above that caused the 3 great native banks to be damaged? Then, can you bring our men in to take a look? Fan Shixin asked again. This? I can bring them in, but I'm worried that if I bring them in, they'll lose their lives. Chen Xiang said he currently did not know the exact strength of those black hairs humaness, but they were definitely strong. If not, they would not have been destroyed. You don't have to worry about that. We will send 9 elite warriors. Each of us 3 native banks. Fan Shixin said. Come find me when you go. Bring them with you. All right. Chen Xiang nodded. The experts sent by the 3 great native bank must be very strong. Chen Xiang thought that nothing would happen at that time. Spirit Wasteland, White Spirit City. When Chen Xiang arrived, she immediately teleported over. She actually knew that Chen Xiang had entered her city. Little scoundrel. You came to play with me so quickly? Did you miss me? Xia Bailing pinched Chen Xiang's face and laughed. Sister Bai Ling, I miss you so much every day. Of course. I came here this time to tell you something important. Chun Xiang grabbed onto Xia Beiling's fair hands. He was a little serious at this moment because when he thought about the black hairs human running out from the profound wasteland, he became extremely worried. Xia Beiling stuck his tongue out at Chun Xiang, then immediately brought Chun Xiang to teleport into her secret room. What is it? Xia Beiling asked. Chun Xiang told Xia Beiling about the situation inside the profound wasteland. Although Xia Beiling was a little lacking, she was still a Dao sovereign and could be considered strong within the spirit wasteland, so he had to let her know. Xia Beiling frowned and said, "This is not a good thing. Sister Bai Ling, you know about those black hairs human?" Chun Xiang asked anxiously. "I know a little. Our master told us that these black hairs human were all. Their names are natural law guardians." Xia Beiling's face became serious. Hearing these words, Chun Xiang had a bad feeling. Obviously, those black hairs human were raised by the heavens. No wonder they were so terrifying. Was this caused by the heavenly Tao and was specially designed to be destroyed? Chun Xiang asked. That's not true. My master said that a group of natural law guardians made some mistakes in their creation, so they were abandoned and sealed in the ancient wastelands. Because these natural law guardians are not easy to kill, if they were to kill them, they would have to pay a large price. Xia Beiling said. What price? Chun Xiang said. Isn't this created by the heavens? The heavenly Tao was so powerful, yet it could not be destroyed? You actually stayed behind to harm me. It was created by the heavens, but I heard that the earliest group of people asked the heavens to create it. When the heavens were created, they gave their management to them. After that group of people found out that there was a big problem with the natural law guardians, they sealed it. Because those people are not as strong as the natural law guardians, it would not be easy for them to destroy it, and they can only be sealed. Xia Beiling sighed. My master said, because those people asked the heavens to create those natural law guardians according to their description, and also because those people did not describe them meticulously enough, and there were many holes in their descriptions, and that group of people were afraid of angering the heavens. So they did not dare to let the heavenly Tao reclaim those natural law guardians. Who are those people? Chun Xiang asked, but he seemed to have already guessed who it was. I don't know either. I only know that those people were originally in charge of controlling the heavenly Tao. My master said that he was once one of those people. Xia Beiling said, in the past, as long as they got an altar or something like the heavenly Tao asking for something, they could all get it. For the sake of saving trouble, that group of people asked a group of natural law guardians. This bunch of bastards! Chun Xiang could not help but scold. It's a good thing that the profound wasteland has a powerful barrier right now, but I don't know how long they can hold it off. If that group of black hairs human were to break through the barrier and come out, it would be dangerous for the new 8 wastelands. Yes, but I can't find those bastards anymore. Xia Beiling also scolded. Chun Xiang felt that this group of people could very likely be the natural law divine spirits group. Although this group wasn't bad, they didn't have much ability, and were almost defeated by the undead divine race and his group. Right now, he did not know where the natural law divine spirit was either. I'm prepared to go in again after a period of time and check out the situation. This way, we'll be better prepared in the future, and I'll need to bring the people from the 3 great native banks in as well. Chun Xiang said. When are we leaving? I'll go too. You were already so dangerous the last time I went. I'm not at ease letting you go by yourself. Xia Beiling scoffed. Sister Bai Ling, you're so nice. You're so concerned about me. Chun Xiang chuckled, then pulled Xia Beiling's little jade hand and rubbed it. Xia Beiling pulled back her hand and said coquettishly, You little scoundrel, you're trying to take advantage of me again? When exactly are you going to set off for Profound Wasteland? In a few days. Chun Xiang said, Are you busy here? It's still 10 years before you start your war with the beasts. Don't you need to prepare? I am only responsible for refining the pills. The rest are for Su Kong and Xingyang. Come find me before you set out again. I'll go tell this matter to Su Kong and Xingyang, and let them be on their guard. Xia Beiling said. It would also be much more convenient for Chun Xiang to go to the Heavenly Dragon City since the 3 great native banks had already been constructed there. Lin Chichi, who he had just brought back, was doing very well inside. She no longer had to worry about it all the time. She was extremely grateful to Chen Xiang, and even said that she would need to serve Chen Xiang for the rest of her life to repay him. After Chen Xiang stayed in Hundreds of Flowers village for a few days to relax, Long Shuangru gave the heavenly magic sword to him. The heavenly magic sword was still the same. It looked like an ordinary iron sword, but it did not have a sword tip previously, but it had now been repaired. As Chen Xiang held the heavenly magic sword, he also felt that there was something different. My dad said that the repaired heavenly magic sword will be sharper than before, and he has also improved a bit, so you will know when you use it in the future. Long Shuangru said. As long as it's sharp and sturdy. Chen Xiang brandished it a few times and laughed. It's best if it can cut through anything. Be careful when you go to that damned place. Long Shuangru said with great concern. Little scoundrel, do you want me to go with you? It's been a long time since I fought alongside you. Long Shui patted Chen Xiang's shoulder and laughed. These few days, she had been pestering Chen Xiang every day, but Chen Xiang was completely ravaged by her group of girls. No need, little naughty dragon is still too weak right now. We should wait for him to become a little stronger. Chen Xiang curled his lips. Humph, underestimating you. Just you wait. Long Shui was very unwilling to accept this. After Chen Xiang obtained the heavenly magic sword, he immediately headed to the spirit wasteland to find Xia Bailing. I have already told this to Su Kong and Xingyang, and they are already making preparations. Oh yeah, the two of them seem to have a way to defend against those black hairs humaness. Tell the heavenly dragon city's dragon to talk to them. Xia Bailing replied. They are very willing to help. The heavenly dragon city and the Hundreds of Flowers village had a very close relationship with Chen Xiang. Su Kong and Xingyang both admired Chen Xiang a lot, and Chen Xiang had also helped them before, so they were naturally willing to cooperate with other cities as well. I will inform them. Let's go, Chen Xiang said. Xia Bailing entered the Yu Yao Mountain Villa, and as soon as she entered, he played a song for her, while dancing. When Chen Xiang arrived at the Three Money Divine City, he asked Huang Jintian here to tell him to take a trip to either Qingyang City or the Void City, to find Qingyang about the matter of defending the Black Hairs human. After that, he went to find Fan Shixin. Manor Lord Fan, I'm preparing to set off. Where are your people? Seeing Fan Shixin coming into the hall, Chen Xiang asked. They're all here. Fan Shixin took out a 9-story pagoda and smiled lightly. They are all inside. As long as you hold the pagoda and enter the barrier, they will come out. Oh right. Don't put this pagoda into your spatial magic treasure. Well, is that really okay? Those black hairs humaness are very strong. And I heard that they are even what kind of natural law guardians they were back then. Chen Xiang said. Oh? You know about the natural law guardians too? Who told you? Fan Shixin had just found out about it from the great landlord. A friend told me. Chen Xiang said. Seems like it's true. There are a lot of natural law guardians in this group. We need to confirm about their situation. It was originally sealed in the Profound Wasteland S, Devil Wasteland S, and Evil Wasteland S. Fan Shixin said, after these natural law guardians are awake, the 3 ancient barriers will activate on their own, preventing them from escaping. However, the humans inside the ancient barriers will be in trouble. Then are those barriers very strong? Chen Xiang asked. They can't be sure either. All they know is that the barrier absorbs the power of the ancient desolate core to maintain its circulation. If the natural law guardians evolve to have intelligence similar to a human's, then they would definitely have a way to break it with their current strength. Fan Shixin said. The current natural law guardians doesn't have intelligence. In their minds, there is only slaughter, and it is all daytime. At night, they will hide and rest. If they develop their own intelligence and have their own consciousness, then they will become a force that can move even at night and day. Chen Xiang was most worried about this. If he really ran out, this new 8 wastelands would definitely be in trouble. Chen Xiang took the golden pagoda and went to the side of Profound Wasteland. He only went in when it was night. Just like last time, he used the White Tiger's jump and easily entered the Profound Wasteland. After entering, the golden tower suddenly flashed and 9 golden-robed men appeared. We'll meet here in 10 days. If you don't see us in 10 days, then you don't need to wait for us. It means that we're dead, so you can just bring the pagoda back. One of the golden-robed men said to Xianxia, and after that, the 9 of them turned into 9 rays of light and ran off in 9 different directions. Xianxia didn't even have time to speak to them before they disappeared. Sister Bai Ling. Xianxia shouted. Xia Bailing also came out from the Yuyao mountain villa. Xianxia took out the 6 realms mirrors and then sat on it with Xia Bailing. Those 9 fellows from earlier all possess Dao sex cultivation. They can be considered very powerful. They are indeed worthy of being one of the 3 great native banks. Only they are willing to send those 9 Dao sect members to their deaths. Xia Bailing said. After the Dao sect, it should be the Tao Doom. After the Tao Doom, it should be the Dao Sovereign. The Dao Zong realm is so strong you actually went to die? Xianxia frowned. Could it be that we are still unable to deal with the 9 of them? If the 9 of them are together, then it would be all right, but they are separated. From the looks of it, they are heading towards the native bank to investigate, and they definitely have a map on them so they know where all the native banks are located. Xia Bailing said. Xianxia then began to urge the 6 realms mirrors to use the profound Tao power to lay down the array, enveloping the outside of the 6 realms mirrors. This time, he used more array formations layer after layer to protect the 6 realms mirrors. Go deeper in and see their city. Those cities definitely have ways to deal with the black hairs human. Xia Bailing said, didn't you go to a city last time? Well, but I don't want to go anymore. And Kiki said it's not just the city, there's something else. Xianxia said, since it's still night time, we should quickly find another city. Lin Qiqi told Chu Hongqing a lot of things in the Yuyao mountain villa, including the location of other cities. Chu Hongqing and Yang Xiangyin also remembered it. Xianxia would start searching for those cities according to what they told him. He first went to the city he came to last time, then teleported using this city's location, according to the direction that Qiqi told him to teleport to. In the middle of the night, Xianxia finally found a city. This city also had a tall and thick black city wall, its city gate tightly shut. This city had a barrier, but to Xianxia it was nothing. He just jumped in with a white tiger, while Xia Bailing stayed inside the Yuyao mountain villa. Entering the city, Xianxia noticed that a lot of people were gathered at a big plaza, and in front of the plaza there was a tall platform. There were actually tied up over 10 black hairs humanes. The powerful black hairs human was actually caught.